Welcome back to the Gold Coast Sport and Leisure Centre. About 3 minutes to go before the start of the boys' gold medal game, under 18 state championships. Now, if you've just joined us, we've just watched the Townsville girls get the win over Logan in that gold medal game, and it was a really good contest. Went down to the wire, I think 5 points in the end. So interesting to see how this one plays out with the boys as they go to their benches for their final preparations.
Yeah, welcome back for those listeners. Just a quick rundown. We've got Southern District Spartans who are currently undefeated through this week against the Brisbane Capitals boys who are also undefeated, I am led to believe. So something's got to give today. Spartans boast a host of Queensland representatives. Brisbane, a good, strong, well-coached unit who have a lot of talent at their disposal as well. So definitely an interesting game, and we look forward to seeing what transpires tonight.
Yeah, look, it really hurts me to have to correct you again, but Spartans did have the one loss through the tournament to Townsville, and what was essentially a dead rubber game for them. They were guaranteed top spot in their pool already, so they did have the one loss to their name, but again, they were able to rotate and rest some players through that one. So aside from that, that's the only game that these two teams have lost. Brisbane, bit of a surprise packet, it must be said. Through their BQJBC, I think they finished 6th in the South. So for them to come out and be undefeated at this point in the tournament is a real credit to them. And like you said, just talent on both sides of the floor in this one. It's going to be a real cracker.
Number 12, Justin Sullivan.
Yeah, we've got some key players here tonight. As I mentioned earlier, Spartans littered with Queensland representatives will be without star and leading scorer Hazen Mellars tonight, who's averaged a tad under 20 points a game throughout the week. Will not play today. In saying that, there is no shortage of talent on the Spartans roster to fill those 20 points.
A plethora of talent on that roster.
As we cross to the national anthem, everyone stand up, and you can see these great footage here.
Gentlemen, there are your two teams. With 3 minutes and 1 to go before the under 18 gold medal match.
As mentioned earlier, Southern District Spartans led by Hazen Mellars. He won't be there today, but will lead the team on the bench. He's an energetic type of kid, so he will get up and about. Kobe McDowell-White, the star point guard, Mason Davis, Will Marnie, Ethan Tafe, Braden Pillay Cook, Liam Stolberg, Tristan Lacey, Cole Ross, and Big Harry Ruledeff. Spartans are led by Darren Marchant. Damien Tafe is the able assistant, and the manager is Tamara Harnley.
Yeah, that's right. And the Brisbane team list just fading away from the screen there. They've got Max McKinnon. It'll be a big one for him today. Hopefully he can come out and really set the standard, set the tempo and have a big game. Hopefully that'll keep Brisbane the scoreboard ticking over for them. They've got Jeremy Brown, Sam Schmidt, who's had a really good tournament, possibly leading scorer for the Brisbane team in this one so far. Wes Briggs, Dom Hayes, Benjamin Venus, Justin Sullivan, Ben Bokenholt, apologies if I've mispronounced that one, big GPAP, Jordan Papakostas, and then Tama Tui. Coached by Michael Van Dongen, or commonly known as V-Dog. Assistant Andrew Fielder, managers Tracy Venus and Matthew Venus. So As you've touched on, Luke, this is going to be a red-hot game. Really exciting talent in this on both ends of the floor, but also a lot of bottom-age talent. So this is, early prediction that we may even see these teams again here next year. They've got some young players coming through. Spartans, have Kobe McDowell-White. They've got Hazen Mell, as you've touched on, Mason Davis, Will Marnie. And then you look at the Brisbane side of things, big Jordan Papakostas, Dom Hayes, Tamatui, Sam Schmidt, Wes Briggs. So some young teams here, but we're really looking forward to seeing them go head-to-head.
All right, as we count down to the final 1 minute, coaches will call their teams in, give them one last pep talk. V-Dog, very experienced coach, been here, done that before, rallied his boys throughout the week. Really, probably some may say, as Lakey alluded to before, might have overachieved a fair bit. So I'm sure and certain that they will not just make up the numbers here. They will definitely be ready to roll. Spartans, as I said, probably the fancied team of the competition and favourites coming in. I would still have them as favourites. A lot will come down to the play of big Jordan Papakostas and how he controls the paint against bigs such as Harry Ruledeff, Tristan Lacey. So I think Brisbane are definitely not going to die wondering. They're going to attack you. Spartans, whose rotation has been hurt a little bit tonight without Hazen Mellars, will probably go to that 7-man rotation, which the only saving grace is that they have had a couple of big wins this week and been able to get through their rotations. Both teams will be raring to go.
Yeah, that's right. Spartans have actually managed their minutes throughout this team really well this week, and that's a credit to their depth and the way they've been able to control games. So that could definitely play a part. Like you said, I'm really looking forward to that matchup with the bigs. Jordan Papakostas had a really big tournament, but Spartans have got some legitimate talent there, and Harry Ruledeff and Tristan, which you've touched on already, Luke. So that's a big one for me to keep an eye on. And of course, really, really keen to see how Brisbane start and what they do and what their tactics are with Kobe McDowell-White, who showed out in that semi-final yesterday, had 10 threes, I think 10 out of 16 from beyond the three-point line for Kobe. So you can't ignore him, that's for sure. And that'll be a big storyline in this one. So
starting lineups here tonight, Southern District Spartans will roll out Kobe McDowell-White and Mason Davis in the backcourt. Ethan Tafe will be in the forward position with Tristan Lacey, and Harry Ruledeff will anchor that defense, that 1-3-1 zone we've seen all week from the Southern District Spartans. And Brisbane will roll with Sammy Schmidt, will be the point guard with Wes Briggs in the backcourt. Dynamic little point guard duo there. Dom Hayes and McKinnon will fill in the forward spots. And as we mentioned earlier, dominant Gordon/Jordan Papakostas will anchor the middle in the centre position.
And Brisbane win the tip.
Shuffle stagger there from Brisbane early. Kobe McDowell-White.
Yeah, early
Schmidt,
foul.
but gets called for the early foul.
We'll take that start as Brisbane. Any fouls on Kobe is a good thing for them. But, again, they were running some good action there. Nice screen from G-Pap using the big body.
Brisbane through Dom Hayes here on the tack. Spin move. Another spin move. Well, I'm a bit dizzy. G-Pap misses that, doesn't get it to go. Wes Briggs with the rebound and puts it in. Wes Briggs opens up his account and the team's account.
Yeah, again, first possession for Brisbane. They went straight to the big fella. Was able to make
White for three. Doesn't get it to go.
No, not able to continue where he left off from yesterday, but that'll be a settler, no doubt. He'll contribute
Another
to this one for
spin move
sure.
there, gee whiz. Who's their SPP coach? Spin moves, that's 4 spin moves in 30 seconds. We've just broken the record.
They learn from the best. So interesting to see the baseline out of bounds here from Brisbane. Get the ball out to Sam Schmidt at the top. Very nice, aggressive. Was able to pull up and find that off the glass for 2. So early advantage, Brisbane Capitals 4-0.
White into that early rub screen, see if they can get any early creativity going. Deep penetration. Mason Davis drops down for Harry Ruledeff. Harry Ruledeff will finish that for 2.
Very nice. Yeah, good finish. Nice pass there by Mason Davis, and it's good to see Harry Ruledeff get an early basket. That'll be great for his confidence.
The Spartans going with the bottom age backcourt of Davis and McDowell-White. They definitely don't lack creativity within those two, which is a good sign for Spartans. Brisbane getting a score a little bit easy at the moment for Brisbane. Spartans not really putting up much of a fight defensively, but maybe just a bit of nerves and just feeling themselves out. But go to that middle ball screen there for Kobe McDowell-White again. Doesn't get it to go. Maxi McKinnon with the rebound and the early push.
Yeah, look, unsuccessful again by Kobe, but it's no surprise to see the ball in his hands early for our Spartans, as you'd expect it to be throughout this whole game, and he's had a couple of early looks. No doubt there'll be one going soon. He's too talented for them to keep him quiet all game.
Ethan Tate for three. Gets a bit of space. Bit of breathing room there for Spartans. Need to stop here. Brisbane 4 for 4 and make sure they're gone.
Both teams started in man, so obviously happy enough for the matchups early just to feel each other out, see how this game starts. But Max McKinnon outside the three-point line. Dom Hayes in the corner.
Dom Hayes long two. Brisbane. Yeah, hot to start. They have not missed. Can they keep this up? That is the question. Spartans come down through Tristan Lacey. Kobe McDowell-White on the attack. Pitch and kick to Harry Ruledeff for three. And he gets it to go.
Spartans.
What a hot start here.
Yeah, shooting that ball confidently, and that's what you want to see. Darren Marshall will be happy with that. Obviously, Tafey and Harry can both shoot it when they're stepping into those shots confidently. So we've seen that early, and hopefully that can continue for Spartans.
Brisbane just being patient. Sam Schmidt with the three. He gets
might want that one again.
On that one, Mason Davis with the early push. You don't want those long shots, because this Spartans team, once they get going and get running, I think you're in for a long night. Harry Ruledeff attacks Dom Hayes there and then draws the foul.
It's interesting too, you touched on Spartans. We spoke about it already, but you touched on Spartans starting with the bottom age backcourt. But if I'm not wrong, I think 4 of the starting 5 for Brisbane are all bottom age. So
I don't know. We'll have to get on the... We'll have to get on the listeners for that one.
Bit scrappy, but
Sam
Sam Schmidt comes up with it.
Schmidt doesn't get it to go.
The WhatsApp question.
WhatsApp question of the day from Corey Homicide Williams.
Very nice transition there by Spartans. Gone from one end of the floor to the other.
That's that attack that Brisbane want to avoid Spartans getting into. There's not good signs there from Brisbane, because those 2 misses have led to 2 scores from Spartans. They want to avoid that transition game. As you see Sam Schmidt getting in with their big boys and drawing the foul.
Yeah, look, well coached so far to start. I think Brisbane have been pretty deliberate in their action as well, and V-Dog running some double away screens for the shuffle cut for Sam Schmidt, and he's going to reward himself with 2 points at the line potentially. Makes the first.
Sam Schmidt is good for both. Schmidt trying to assert himself early. Spartan executing through a little rip screen there for Harry Ruledeff. Ethan Tate from the dribble drive and gets it to go.
And the water's just parted there for Ethan Tate. He was able to get inside, come back to his right hand and finish. So 5 points early for him.
12 all here. 4 minutes into the quarter. Maxi McKinnon slicing and dicing. 14-12. First team to play defense tonight might be in the box seat. Not seeing a whole lot. Turnover there by McDowell-White. Looking to create, as long as it's an aggressive timeout. Aggressive attack, sorry.
Missed by Sam Schmidt, but Jordan Papakostas able to clean up. And offensive rebound, got inside position. He's going to the line. So Tristan Lacey coming out there, possibly his second. Oh, no, only his first, but they've gone with a change. So timeout here to Spartans.
It's probably an earlier timeout than what Coach Darren Marshall would have liked. To burn one 4 minutes 40 in. It's a bit risky. Oh, we're on here, the bongo drum. And anyone get their friends to beat the bongo drum?
Not seeing many of those out there, mate.
I know, but I won't die wondering. I will get my bongo drum from somebody.
I can attest to that. But the crowd's certainly filled out. Really good turnout here.
Absolutely,
for
I
this
can't
final.
even see the court. Can you see?
Lucky we've got a monitor.
We've got a
here
monitor here, but everyone's just decided to sit in front of us. So we've seen it pack up. We're probably well over 1,000 here right now. The whole this side is packed. So good little turnout. I'll see how raucous they can get.
Yeah, no, great to see. Great to see. Obviously, great to have events like this, and we've touched on it for the girls' game for any of those of you who are listening. But you know, when you can have all divisions, male, boys and girls, in the one place, it's great for the sport of basketball to be able to draw the crowds in and get a lot of eyes, bums on seats for these finals. Creates a bit of atmosphere, and credit to Gold Coast and Gold Coast Council and Gold Coast Basketball for hosting the event.
Well, good job. The live streaming, as we mentioned earlier, this hasn't been done. This has been put together by the BQ team at a short notice, and great professional coverage. We're trying our best to not stuff it up. Special shout out, obviously there's people and family hopefully listening throughout Queensland, throughout Australia, and maybe even international. I know DJ White will be listening, watching his younger brother play. So special shout out to DJ and all family overseas.
Yeah, we saw GPAP just make 2 free throws and push out to a 4-point lead for Brisbane, 16-12. But Spartans coming back now, pick and roll game with Kobe McDowell White, which is good for them, no doubt.
Good dump down there by Ruledef.
Yeah,
Cole
great
Ross
pass.
not get it to go.
No, he's had a good week, Cole Ross.
He has a great week, Cole Ross.
Not able to finish on that occasion. Harry Ruledef with the offensive rebound, but couldn't put it back either. And you know, just their determination on those boards means Spartans keep the ball and baseline out of bounds with 14 seconds left on the shot clock.
Will Marnie has checked in. Might have been a bit late to the party on that one, but he's come in. He's an explosive scorer, Will. So Kobe McDowell White for 3, doesn't get it to go. Yeah,
Will came in for Mason Davis by the looks of it, and Cole Ross, who we touched on already, came in for Tristan Lacey. So a couple of early changes. Brisbane still rolling with the same 5 they started with, as we see Wes Briggs get the ball in the low block.
Nice, strong finish. Maxi McKinnon with the tip in.
Showing some real strength to hold off the offensive rebound. One-handed putback. Great job, Max McKinnon.
Straight back at you.
Cole Ross loses the shoe.
Cole Ross has lost his shoe.
Not sure what to do.
It's been a blowout. Zion Williamson, he's gone. He's playing with one shoe. Cole Ross has lost a shoe.
Yeah, refs hold it up so he can...
Little Sammy McDowell White hustling the shoe down.
With the assist, wearing the number 5 jersey of his older brother. Good to see.
Another McDowell White.
Good to see.
If anyone knows little Sammy McDowell White, he is probably the least shy out of all the McDowell Whites. and has the most energy by far.
And can certainly play the game too. He's definitely one to keep an eye on future.
Wilmani on the attack. Comes back to that right hand. Probably should have gone with the left. Got blocked by Big G Pop.
Yeah, great defense by Jordan Papakostas.
V-Dog is not happy with something. Although
doesn't sound like V-Dog.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that was a stupid comment by me. We will see V-Dog's arms raised a few times tonight.
He's a hard taskmaster, but you know, again, credit to him. He holds these boys to account and gets them after it. And
Harry Ruledef with the floater. The big fella. Multi-skilled athlete, Harry Ruledef. 6'7", 6'8". Good handle. More of a pick and pop guy, but he's really done a good job this week of just anchoring the D and you playing to his strengths. Pat.
Yeah, interesting point you make there about Harry. I mean, he kind of shot out of nowhere, so he had that sort of guard mentality for a long time, and it's going to bode well for him and his development as a player, having that extra length.
White with the take. Too big, too strong.
Possibly his first basket, I think, for the game. So that'll be great for his confidence to get going. He had a big one yesterday, and the more that he can contribute to this game, the better it's going to be for Spartans and for their chances.
Sam Schmidt a bit loose on the drive there, deflected. Got some subs here. We have Tama Tui, Jeremy Brown coming in for Wes Briggs and Dommy Hayes.
And
it's quite the
bit
cheer
of crowd
there.
reaction, yeah, absolutely. Not sure exactly who that was for, Jeremy or Tama maybe, but good to see the crowd getting involved. Nice pass from Maxi
McKinnon to G-Pat.
Not able to make that, but that's his shot. He's got that sort of range.
Happy with that shot if you're Brisbane. G-Pap is known for his mid-range game.
Absolutely.
How's this matchup? Ruledef on G-Pap. What a matchup. we'll keep an eye on that one throughout the game.
Correct, and good to see Harry not shy away from it. G-Pap in the air on a shot fake and go at it.
McKinnon calling for the pick and roll. No, he's turning around on the pin down. Going for the two-man game. McKinnon known for his work on the pick and roll with a nice skip. McKinnon, very crafty facilitator. He's more of that point forward, very similar to someone we may have known by the same last name, actually.
Big comparison, but no doubt Maxi's had that all through his career, and it must be tough for the kid, but he's certainly shown his own ability in this tournament. And very interesting, actually, obviously, with Hayes and
roll
Mellors.
again by McKinnon. Doesn't get it to go. G-Pat with the rebound.
Yeah, with Hayes and Mellors
from Brisbane
being out, which you alluded to earlier in the coverage, Luke. They've got, I think it's Braden Palaia-Cook into the lineup earlier than we've seen throughout this week. So interesting for Spartans, and Darren not shy to go to his bench and show some faith in Palaia-Cook, which is great to see. But great find there by Kobe McDowell-White to Cole Ross under the basket.
24-20, Capitals lead. I'd have to say Caps off to a fairly efficient start tonight. Spartans really defensively haven't shown the ability to disrupt them. Sam Schmidt goes to the corner three. Oh, we've got a foul. Foul called on.
And Big G-Pap likes that one.
Look at Cole Ross from behind.
Harry Ruledev.
No, Harry Ruledev with the pushing.
Too early fouls for Harry, so good call by Darren, just sub him out. And not worth risking a third as Big G-Pap comes out for a breather as well.
Come on, Bianca McDowell-White, give us some bongos. No, another no-go on the bongos there on the crowd cam. Brisbane into that box set on the inbounds. Look for a little two-man game as they do well. Sam Schmidt, another three-point attempt.
Yeah, they've played through Sam Schmidt a lot this week and early in this game. So obviously going back to what's worked for them, which is good to see. Probably hasn't had as much success as he has in other games, but no doubt he'll have an impact in this one.
Tristan Lacey with the offensive rebound. Will Marnie with the short.
Long two, yeah.
Short corner jump shot's no good. Jeremy Brown is on the attack.
And that might be two on Kobe McDowell-White. So a little bit of foul trouble early for Spartans, if that's the right
without
call.
Hayes and Mellors, it's probably a little bit more exacerbated. And the rotation is obviously a little bit smaller. Hayes and Mellors fills that all-purpose position for them and connects between the guard and the forward. So without him in that rotation, they're really going to need Tafe and Mason Davis to take a little bit of that load, and as you see right now, they'll guard Ethan Tafe in, bring out Ethan Tafe in here, and he'll probably look to facilitate the offense a little bit.
Yeah, that's right. He might share the load a little bit with Will Marnie, but I think Ethan Tafe will be the one with the ball in his hands for most of the time, with Kobe on the bench and no Hazen, as you touched on. So, yeah, very interesting one early for Darren, having Kobe and Harry in foul trouble with two apiece. Probably the two you would least like to have in that situation. So we'll see how he handles it.
Well, B-Dog just getting G-Pap and Maxi McKinnon a quick minute break here, which is a great ploy while Harry Ruledev and Kobe McDowell sit. Tafey with the step through, no good.
Yeah, caught in two minds there. I think Tafey wasn't sure if he was going to find that one under the basket for, I think it was Cole Ross or pull up, but ended up going with a shot, not able to make it drop.
Great D by Cole Ross.
Offensive foul.
Cole Ross gets across. There we go. The big fella can slide his feet too. He's at it, as Lakey mentioned earlier, he's been a great pickup, great find for Spartans. He's just a hard-working young fella and won't give up. So that's a great charge. If Spartans can get a score here, I think they'll be happy with where they end up this quarter. So big play here.
Tafey with the ball outside the three-point line. Dribbles in the paint.
Great defense, Brisbane Capitals.
Spot on. No, you're right. Great defense. Way to wall up. Pack the paint. Wouldn't mind seeing Tafey kick that one out. He had some open teammates outside, but you also don't mind your big-name players, I guess, putting the ball under the wing and just trying to make plays for the team. So, interesting sort of first quarter. I think Brisbane Capital goals can be nothing but pleased with how that one's played out so far.
Yeah, just a quick on stat leaders. Obviously, points-wise for Spartans, Harry Ruldeff leads with 7. Ethan Tafe chipped in with 5. Kobe McDowell-White has assisted on 4 of the 9 field goals. So very important to them, and obviously he's in foul trouble, so we'll see how that pans out. For Brisbane Capitals, they are paced by big Jordan Papakostas, who has 8, and Maxi McKinnon also has 8. Max McKinnon started quite hot there, 4 for 6, 8 points, 4 rebounds in the first quarter. So he's been a busy man, and they've got a couple of points from Sam Schmidt and Dom Hayes and Wes Briggs just to chip in. So they're in control here, Brisbane. I think Spartans maybe look a little bit shell-shocked. They're, like I said, they're probably taking a little bit of time to get into this, but they're kind of they're going to have to look at some changes basically to the schemes that they're looking at.
Yeah, correct. And it's interesting in tournament play. Like I said, Spartans did have the 1 loss, as I mentioned earlier, in that dead rubber game against Townsville. But beyond that, they've really sort of been able to coast through a lot of games, and towards the end just really sort of pull away from teams. So they probably haven't been challenged, and haven't really had to think about what was plan B and what did that look like. And right now they're right in the thick of that. But interesting some comments you made there with the stats. Maxi probably didn't have a great shooting game yesterday, at least early, so really good to see him start strong for Brisbane, and really good to see that even without scoring on the back of his big outing yesterday, Kobe McDowell-White still contributing to the team, and you'd expect nothing less from great players. So yeah, some early contributors for both teams, but as you touched on, interesting to see what change-ups we see in this second quarter.
All right, team stats. Interesting to note that Spartans have not shot a 3-throw, so they haven't put much pressure on the rack. 6 3-throw attempts for Brisbane Capitals gold. Brisbane Capitals 10 for 21 for 47%. As you see, Tristan Lacey with 2. 9 for 23 for 39% is Spartans. So higher paced game, on track for 80 possession, 80 shot attempts, which is pretty crazy. So like I said earlier, first team to play defense probably win this game. Tristan Lacey with another foul. Has that put him on the bench again?
Well, that's his second too. So some real question marks now for Darren about what he does. But yeah, you're spot on. The boys have certainly put some big scores on this tournament. I think there was one yesterday. He might have even got up to 119, I think, in one of the semi-finals. So they've certainly been filling it up. And
top right of our screen now, like he is. Bullets player Tyrell Harrison, and the new Boomers assistant coach CJ Bruton himself is over there watching the boys game.
Well spotted. CJ a little bit more inconspicuous, just wearing the casual gear, but great to see some of those Bullets guys.
I think he's wearing Tyrell's shorts. By the looks of it.
Yeah, not opposed to the old baggy look there with CJ, but yeah, really good to see them here supporting, obviously. Tyrell, as you mentioned, he actually got a bit of burn in their win over the Warrior last night, so good to see him on the court. And
Tristan Lacey trying to power his way to the hoop, and no good. Very hard off the iron there, Tristan.
You see Wes Briggs come down, Brisbane.
Brisbane just executing. They're going in that shuffle stagger action, and they get a lot out of it. It's they're probably been the most disciplined offensive team of the week, and there's a reason why they're here, because they execute their motion offense well.
Yeah, I agree with that. But just as you say that, commentator's curse. Jeremy Brown dribbles in the trap.
Ethan Tafe for 2. And one by Ethan Tafe. Braden Palehi-Cook with the big defensive play and steal and push. So, although not played a whole lot this week, injected in there, and he gives them something as he gets subbed out. Well done. He gets a round of applause from his teammates. Got to respect that. Got to respect kids that can come on and play a role. Absolutely.
Yeah, not easy to play certain roles as tournaments go on, but ready to go obviously in this one, and he's contributed early, so credit to him. As we see Mason Davis come back on, and Ethan Tafe at the line for 1. Not able to make it count, but Cole Ross again, just being active.
Will Marnie, not shy. Whoa.
Another offensive rebound for Spartans.
Another offensive rebound on the hard shot, shall we say, from Will Marnie. Mason Davis with the kick to Ethan Tafe. One dribble jump shot. Did he get that? Oh!
Good if it goes. Just in time. Off the backboard.
Question whether he got that off. But
might need to go to the replay.
As long as he called it. As long as he calls it.
He'll take him anyway. He can get him at this stage. 26-27.
Mason Davis being inserted on Sam Schmidt, and he is in full denial on him. Where's Briggs for three? Short on the iron. Rebound. Cole Ross, there he is again.
Yeah, invaluable minutes by Cole Ross, especially with the other two bigs.
This is what you want to avoid if you're Brisbane. Mason Davis in transition. Very slippery athlete. Again, foul line was where Spartans needed to get to early in this quarter. They're getting there. So, again, they're addressing the issues. They're getting stops, they're running, and they're getting to the foul line.
That's right. Certainly turned the pace up in this second quarter and being able to play unselfishly, kick the ball ahead, cross court, attack 2-on-1 matchups, and they're getting the rewards so far.
Mason Davis unsuccessful on the first there. Good on the second.
So tie ball game, 27 apiece.
Mason Davis, one of our identified athletes, Australian athletes, will head off next week to the Australian camp with a few of the other kids.
Couple of them in this game, yeah.
One of those.
Late in the shot clock. Sam Schmidt,
Good
time running
pressure
out. Great defense.
from Spartans.
3-on-1 fast break. Great defense by Dom Hayes, walling up, taking contact. Brisbane are going the other way through Sam Schmidt.
Sam Schmidt on the leak out. I'm not sure what that was. That looked like
Might want that one again, I dare say. Yeah.
Oh, Ethan Tafe pulls it out. Heady play there by the vet.
A little bit more composure, absolutely. Little horn set, high-low action.
The high-low. Whoa.
Not a pretty shot there from Mason Davis. He'd probably like that one back, but Brisbane going the other way.
That big-ass fan playing
Ben Bokenholt.
Benny Brokenholt. Big, strong move.
I'll have to apologise again. There might be a typo in their Brisbane Capitals team list. I don't have an R in Brokenholt, so if it is Brokenholt, I apologise. But yeah, early contribution for him, which is good to see. Both teams playing pretty quick basketball at the moment. A lot more sort of transition and pace sort of action than the half-court sets. But we see here from Brisbane able to get through some hands and two-man game, Sam Schmidt and Jordan Papakostas, which will be good for them.
Spartans getting caught up on that screen. I'm not sure what coverage they're in. I think they might want to see if they can get that sorted. Schmidt needs to read that a little bit better, but again, a bit of a caught up, a bit of a miscommunication from Spartans. We'll see if they can kind of address it. Will Marnie on the attack there. Tristan Lacey of the spin. No penetration lane there. Trying to make something out of nothing and turning the ball over. Sam Schmidt with another missed floater. Allowing Spartans to run. Cole Ross.
Yeah, both teams just feeling each other out, but like really going after each other.
Not
a lot of composure.
Yeah.
Like you said, with the early foul trouble with the Spartans, and again, we've touched on it, not to harp on the point, but with Hayes and Mellors being out.
Ethan Tafe splits their ball screen.
Certainly changes the rotation.
Eurovision right there. Wow.
Yeah, great move by Ethan Tafe, and he's leading the scoring for this game for both teams, I believe. As we look at the stats, I think he might be up to 12 points early. So,
oh my, Cole Ross with the big. It's a Cole World. Cole World leads the break. Mason Davis with the two.
Lukey trying to win back some credit after the Justin Bieber references in the last game.
Yeah.
The J. Cole reference on that one. But
big block and you're running a leak out. Bongo drums, everybody. Come on, Vinny Mellars, bongo drums. Kiss cam. There we go, Vinny. Whoever's got Vinny Mellars, tell him I said thank you. Kiss cam. We've got someone. Vinny Mellars is all over it.
I don't think he's listening to us, mate. I think he's just mind of his own. But interesting. So 31-29 up for Spartans. So they've managed to wrangle a bit of control back in this quarter after being down 5 at the break. And, all of that happening with Kobe McDowell-White and Harry Ruladef being on the bench. But looks like they're both coming back into this game now. So, yeah, credit to Spartans. They've managed to, like we've said, a bit scrappy from both teams, but they've managed to weather the storm and land a few blows going the other way.
Yeah, so Spartans probably had the better of this second quarter. Brisbane probably lacking a little bit of patience, would you say, like Michael? They've kind of had a couple of early shot attempts, floaters, long kind of rebounds, which has fed the Spartans break. And Mason Davis and Ethan Tafe kind of really took over there and kind of showed their class, I would say.
Absolutely. I think both teams have probably played pretty quick and made some questionable decisions, but Spartans have just had that 1 or 2 possessions where Ethan Tate was able to bring it out.
Oh, another deflection there for Spartans. 3-on-1 break.
Execute.
Kobe McDowell-White drops it back for Tristan Lacey. Missed dunk, Tristan Lacey.
I like to see the mindset there by the big fella, trying to go up and throw it down on Brisbane.
Hey, are you happy with that as a coach, or are you a little bit more?
I'm happy with that as a commentator and a spectator, I can tell you. Maybe not as a coach.
Yeah.
As we see Kobe, nice find. Ethan Tafe runs the key way.
Ethan Tafe.
Able to finish, and probably a good no call by the refs there as well. Let him play a little bit.
A bit of a worried concern for Brisbane. Brisbane struggled in the half court, but and they want to run, and Brisbane are just playing into their hands. They're allowing it. Brisbane look at a little bit of stage fright now after this run. Get the ball back to the big fella, and he's turned it over. Stepped out of bounds.
That's right. No, I think you're right. I mean, they definitely need to try and establish GPAP inside. They went to him there, but he did catch it outside. Deep, short corner, so probably not where you want him getting the ball, especially against that 1-3-1 zone.
Max McKinnon inserted back into the game. He was sitting for the first 6 minutes of that quarter. Whether he's injured or something must be going on, because he sat there for 6 minutes after his big first quarter. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on Maxi and see if there's any injuries or anything to report from down there.
Another turnover from Brisbane. Spartans going the other way, but not able to keep it in possession, and Brisbane going back at him. GPAP to Dom Hayes.
Pass.
Unselfish basketball. The big fella gets 2 under the basket. So a nice little steady out for Brisbane.
Mason Davis attacking.
Great defense, Max McKinnon.
Block. Nice pass by Mason Davis. Mason Davis dropping dimes for Harry Ruledeff there. But Brisbane looking like they got a bit of life with the insertion of Max McKinnon here.
Yeah, you're spot on. I'm not sure what was going on with him being on the bench for so long, but V-Dogs obviously got him back into this one, and already he's contributed.
Spartans in that 1-3-1.
It's working for him, caused some problems.
Tafey with the Euro vision again.
Gets his own board, back up. Good job by Max there just to wall up and cause problems at the rim.
All right, Brisbane are looking to run a set here, which is a good sign. They got a 1-3-1. We'll see if what they're going to try and do against the 1-3-1. Get low, attack short corner. Well done by Dom Hayes there. Simple basketball.
Yeah, look, able to find a way to score against that zone on that occasion, but they haven't had a lot of success against it and haven't really looked clear in what they were trying to achieve, to be honest. So be interesting to see if V-Dog comes up with some adjustments, but no doubt Spartans will stay in that while it's working for them. And you touched on it already. They've certainly not been opposed to it all throughout this week. So I think it's 15 to 8 this quarter to Spartans. So they've certainly had the better of it as they go inside of Tristan Lacey.
Harry Ruledeff.
Oh, I'd like to see him take that first one. If he's going to settle for that shot, take that first one. You've already made one. Step into it with confidence and let it fly.
McKinnon controlling tempo here. Sensed there wasn't enough of an advantage. Chose not to push it, although Coach V-Dog wanted him to. He's held it up and we've turned it over anyway. Harry Ruledeff straight to the lane. Big finish. Max McKinnon, another good wall up. He's protecting the rim well. Sammy Schmidt, left-hand floater, a little bit out of control there. G-Pat with the rebound.
The garbage man, Jordan Papakostas.
Yeah, the big meat and potato. The big meat and potato. He will do his job. V-Dog with some words for his crew. See what he can get out of him. Yeah, V-Dog's notorious for yelling at his bench when they're not in charge.
Yeah, Jordan Papakostas really keeping Brisbane in the game here. As you said, they're really playing fast, and it probably hasn't paid off for them too much, but Jordan Papakostas was able to get a couple of offensive rebounds, clean up on the glass, keep filling it up.
Good hands, Mason Davis. You got to protect the ball around him. Eurovision straight into Max McKinnon. Max McKinnon. Mason Davis with the tough finish. That transition is putting pressure on that. McKinnon's been doing a good job of walling up. He's probably going to need some help down there. important that Brisbane stay positive through this time out here. They're only down 2. It's not the end of the world. It's just some things aren't going their way, and they want to make sure that they can rally for the last minute 40 here. They got a good look here. Go down, get a score, get a stop, and try and get it even or even ahead going into the second half.
That's right. And I'll be interested to see what adjustments VDOG does make against that 1-3-1. It's clear to see how they want to play the game. They want to play fast. They want to try and attack the rim and get heat on the rim early, but hasn't really been successful for them, to be fair, in this one so far. So maybe we see them slow the tempo down and run through some sets and try and establish that inside presence through GPAP, who already has 12 early in this game. He's leading the scoring for Brisbane. Max McKinnon on 8's right behind him. He had 8 at the quarter-time break, so hasn't added to that tally, but Ethan Tafe on 13 for Spartans and Harry Ruladef with 9. So a couple of big contributors early for both teams.
Under 2 minutes to go in this first half of your gold medal match. The under 18 men's state championship. The Southern District Spartans
37-35. Spartans lead 1 minute 30-39 from Gold Coast Sport and Leisure Centre. Under 18 state championships for Queensland.
Just having a look at the stats there, coming into these free throws from Mason Davis. Brisbane Capitals 0 for 6 from outside the 3-point line. So that's an interesting stat. Well, they've certainly made a few throughout the week. Be interesting to see if they can get going.
It's probably extremely important against the 1-3-1 and being able to hit that, especially the corner. Sam Schmidt, another out of control floater. It's probably not that middle third is not where we're attacking here on the 1-3-1. A nice dump
Very nice find. Cole Ross not able to make it.
Cole World misses that gimme. Max McKinnon on the attack. Oh, the whirling dervish by Max McKinnon. McKinnon, that's up to 10 now for Max. Will Marnie with the attack. Cole World with the putback, misses it. G-Pap with the rebound. Ooh, getting a bit scrappy down there in the key.
Cole World, I think you just trademarked a nickname for the kid. Hopefully he likes it. But 45 left to go on this one. Possessions for Brisbane if they manage the clock well. Good hustle there by Sam Schmidt, getting after it and drawing a foul. So Brisbane get another crack at this. They do have a chance for a 2-for-1 if they get up a really quick one. To be honest, I'd probably just be happy to settle it down and get a good look with being a bit scrappy in the last few possessions. So.
I'm more inclined to jack the big 3 and get a lead and then get a stop and get another 3 and we're up 6. Bam. But anyway, that's your style. That's my style. See what happens. G-Pap in that short corner. Oh. Show it. G-Pap looking to force that pass there.
I'm sure the listeners all throughout Queensland are very surprised to hear Luke Cairns not opposed to a quick 3.
9 seconds left on the shot clock here. Dom Hayes underneath gets blocked by Harry Ruladef. Going to push it here. Michael Lakey wants them to pull it out and run a set, and they don't. They shoot a 3. Kobe McDowell-White.
Spot on,
That'll allow you one shot.
Not a terrible shot by Kobe in the broader sense. Again, going 10 for 16 from behind the arc yesterday. He's obviously feeling confident, but probably just want a little bit more awareness there of that clock. They could have, shot clock was off. They could have just slowed things down, had the last look at the game, and those little 1%ers can make a big difference when it's a close game like it is today.
Jeremy Brown, Max McKinnon, all air on that one. 37-all to finish the first half.
That's right, tight ball game, and again, Brisbane haven't been able to affect the scoreboard from outside the arc. 0 for 6, 0 for 7 when you add that last one from Max there. So hopefully they can get a few more to go in the second half and put some pressure on Spartans, especially try and force them out of that zone. But another interesting stat, 1 for 10 for Sam Schmidt. So he's had a great week. Can't take away the way he's contributed to this Brisbane Capitals team throughout the tournament, but probably not having the game that he would have wanted so far, as we see the BQ team throwing the mini Moultons into the crowd.
As you see the highlights, they're here. The live action here is as the Moulton balls are flying everywhere again. We've got BQ staff showing us their passes. Even General Manager Graham Burns is back for more. I did mention he had a custard arm, but
Luke may or may not have a job come Monday.
Yeah, my job will be advertised within a week for sure.
Great to see the support here for Moulton, for our game. They've come on board this year and been a great supporter of these championships. CBSQ as well earlier in the year in the school side of things. So they're doing great things to contribute to basketball in Queensland. Big shout out to Moulton.
Just looking through some leading scorers. So obviously 37 apiece. Spartans had the second quarter covered, much like the ladies' game. Actually, it was a tale of two quarters. Brisbane and Spartans obviously taking one quarter apiece. Ethan Tafe leads the game with 13 points, ably assisted by Harry Ruledeff on 9. Mason Davis has 7 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, so he's filling up the stat sheet. As I mentioned earlier, Kobe McDowell-White has the 5 assists. So Spartans are getting a pretty good mix. So we're probably after a couple of guys to come to the party offensively, but Brisbane very much led by Max McKinnon and Jordan Papakostas. Papakostas leads the way with 12. Max McKinnon 10 on 5 for 8 shooting. 7 rebounds for Max, 6 rebounds for Jordan. So like we mentioned earlier, Sam Schmidt's probably the third wheel that needs to get going there, because he's had a cracker of a week, and although he's kept pressure on the hoop tonight, hopefully a few of those can go, and Brisbane might find themselves with a bit of a margin. But team stats very equal across the board. Turnover games very even. Rebounding margin is a little bit extra rebounds, 12 offensive rebounds to 9 for Spartans. So there's 3 extra gimmies there. So, but not much in the stats really tell the difference. And
no surprise that it's a tied ball game. So interesting one for me, not dissimilar to the girls' game we had just before, but scoring very heavily weighted to the starters for both teams. So 4 points off the bench so far from Brisbane, from Spartans, and 5 points off the bench for Brisbane. So interesting to see if either team can get some contributors from the guys coming off the pine. What are your thoughts, Luke? Sam Schmidt, obviously been really important for Brisbane this week, as we've touched on, but currently sitting 1 for 10. If you're V-Dog, are you happy to let him keep sort of taking those shots, or are you maybe trying to pull him out a little bit, be a bit more composed?
Look, I think that they got to this point with him being a big part of what they do, and that was obviously being a bit more higher volume. He kind of gives that conduit. Max is not a out-and-out scorer, so it's important that Sam is keeping heat on the rim and keeping the scoreboard ticking. And you know, his aggression does lead to good things happening. There's a bit of normality for Brisbane when he's aggressive. So I'd like to see him probably be a bit more patient, maybe late clock look at his attack, but just understanding as a point guard, if they're in that 1-3-1 where your areas to attack are, he's probably attacking, trying to attack the middle seam, which is not available. So if you can get the ball and if you can get the ball a bit lower on the 45, look to attack and see, and like any good scorer, if you can get going through defense, invest in the defensive side of the ball, I think he'll be all right. But I think Spartans have identified him, and Mason Davis has done a pretty good job in terms of making him work throughout the first 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah, that's right. He has been a big part of it, so Spartans no doubt would have had him high on the scout report coming into this one, alongside GPAP and Max McKinnon. Probably for me, he's been aggressive, but sort of settled a lot for those floaters or runners early. I wouldn't mind seeing him trying to get at the body and see if he can get himself going from the foul line, because I think he really needs to contribute on the scoreboard for Brisbane to win this one. But just looking at the lineups to start this second half, it looks like Spartans have got Will Marnie starting, which is a change up with Ethan Tafe coming off the bench from how they started the game. Brisbane are back with their starters. And Dom Hayes not able to make that one go in the paint early. Nice defensive wall up by Harry Ruledeff.
Spartans coming down, looking to play through the post with Tristan Lacey. The big boys are banging, goes to that spin move, fade away. Tristan Lacey doesn't get it to go. Lacey hasn't got going tonight. He needs to probably kind of just get a few easy buckets, just get to his receiver spots and get going. Maxi McKinnon for 3, doesn't go. Miss that offensive rebound. GPAP always crashing the O boards. GPAP always making you think about the box out.
Yeah, and that's a big body to have to worry about on those boards. He's active and no thrills, GPAP. That's what I love about him. He just goes and gets the job done. So
little early rub screen there. Lacey on the pop. Harry Ruledeff on the roll. They bump it down to him. He's got Max McKinnon on his back.
Likes
goes
the
to his
matchup.
left. Goes the bully ball. Harry Ruledeff.
Good to see Harry really attack that matchup. You know, it's a clear advantage for mine. No disrespect to Max McKinnon at all, and he's played some great defense in this one, but Harry's obviously got the height advantage, and I'd like to see a little bit more of that from Spartans.
Brisbane playing with patience here. Wes Briggs on the attack. Comes back to his right hand. Gets the floater to go over Will Marnie.
Two-man game, Will Marnie.
Will
Nice
Marnie
little
on the kick.
projector
Harry
screen.
Ruledeff has his feet set. Long on the 3. Sam Schmidt, this is what we talked about, him getting out and running. This is another one. That's okay. He's just got to keep staying. Ooh, a little bit of flair there by Mason Davis. And a nice scoop shot.
Find.
Lacey gets the easy basket to go. Mason
Great
Davis.
transition basketball, running lanes, putting the hard work in, reward with the 2 points. Yeah, look, I don't mind that last one from Sam Schmidt again. We know he's not afraid to get him up so far in this game, but he was a little bit more aggressive into the body in that last one of Harry. Couldn't finish it, of course, but I don't mind that mindset.
Brisbane a little bit stagnant there on their offensive sets. Once they give the ball up, they've got to make sure that they continue to move, to space the floor, get them to fill in the receiver spots at the moment. It's kind of pass and stand at the moment, so not a good start for Brisbane offensively. Schmidt with another floater. Can he get it to go? He can't. Tristan Lacey gobbles it in, gets it out to Kobe McDowell-White. Spartans on the front foot. Nice attack. Ball bounces to Lacey. Lacey with the fadeaway.
Yeah,
Tristan
a
Lacey.
little bit lucky on that one. Kobe trying to find the pass inside to Harry, I think it was. Max McKinnon got his hand in and it just sort of landed in his lap. Tristan Lacey able to put 2 on the board. But yeah, I think any time that...
Max McKinnon with a slight hook, but gets away with it. Gets to the foul line. Well done, Maxie.
Good to see him being aggressive, attacking Kobe McDowell-White on that occasion. Yeah, we know he's got 2 fouls, so maybe in the back of his mind he's not going to play as tough defense as he may otherwise. And he actually picked up that foul, I believe. So on 3 now. Interesting to see how they manage that for the rest of this one, Spartans.
Jeremy Brown being inserted for Sam Schmidt. So V-Dog obviously trying to get a little bit of a different look here at point guard. Probably rely on Maxi McKinnon and Jeremy Brown to do the main facilitating, and obviously Kobe McDowell getting subbed off there, only on 2 fouls. So Tafe is in to run the point.
Yeah, my apologies. Unless we're waiting for that to be updated, Kobe only on 2 fouls. So looks like the subs just to get him a breather.
Ruledeff called for the illegal screen on that.
That'll be his third though. So
yeah,
he comes out.
We'll
Cole Whirl back in the
Whirl
game.
in. No, you're right with Kobe McDowell-White, mate. That is 3 fouls.
3 on both there, Kobe
Yeah.
and Harry. So again, foul trouble for 2 of their key contributors for Spartans. Interesting again how this one plays out.
Tommy Hayes with a little floater from the short corner. Just keeps him in it, keeps it ticking.
Mason Davis.
Down, they run a little hand action. Ooh, Cole World forgets what he's supposed to be doing on that one. He's supposed to pop for the reversal.
Nice finish.
Wes Briggs pushes out in the run, gets an easy layup, back to a 43-point game.
Yeah, just able to hang in the air there, just adjust his shot, and a nice finish by Wes Briggs.
Attack by Will Marnie. Like to see a little bit of ball movement, a little bit of player move from Spartans to see if they could get a post up or something. Brisbane now the team that's pushing in transition. Another 2 points
from Max McKinnon. And Brisbane just push ahead in this one, 45-43.
Not panicking, doesn't look to burn. Ethan Tafe for 3. That's a big shot by Ethan Tafe.
Big shot there for Ethan Tafe. We've seen him hit at least one, possibly two already in this one, but not afraid to get him going when he's feeling confident. So that's a great sign for Spartans, and no doubt will do him the world of good. He's leading this game still, I think, in scoring with up to 16 now, I think, after that one for Ethan Tafe.
So well done from Spartans there. Just going a little weave action just to get some sort of movement. Tafe steps into his shot. If you've got a bit of rhythm, it's always more likely to go in. So at least it was a little bit of offense there. Brisbane down the other end. Maxi McKinnon with the floater is strong hand. They're going to get out and run here through Tafe and Mason Davis and Cole World for the dunk. Dom Hayes with the block tells him not to come back. Maxi McKinnon in transition. That is a charge foul. Wow.
Interesting call on that one.
Call.
Maybe a no call for mine. I thought it was reasonably good defense, but I'm not sure a charge was the way I would have gone.
Look, V-Dog's not too disappointed in it, so it must have been he's the barometer, that's for sure. So yeah, we got an offensive foul there by Max McKinnon, so it's all right. Back to 1, 46-45. Spartans lead, 5 minutes 30 to go in the third quarter.
That weave action again by Spartans. Will Marnie with the ball in the wing. Tristan Lacey inside, very nice.
Tristan Lacey with the big third quarter. Amazing what a bit of confidence will do. Got 8 points for the game.
Yeah, and again, it's credit to Spartans' depth. They're not relying on one or two guys. You know, in any one time, anyone can get going in this Spartans lineup. So in the last few minutes, it's been Tristan Lacey, obviously Ethan Tafe already as well, and Big Harry Ruledev contributing well.
Substitution for Brisbane, number 15, Tamatui. He replaces
Tamatui in for Dominic Hayes here.
Tamatui. Mason Davis says no.
Yeesh.
Wow.
Hey, big three, Jeremy Brown.
Exciting basketball all around there. Jordan Papakostas catching the low block. You'd back him in more times than not, but Mason Davis gets up and sends that one back outside, and Jeremy
Ethan
Brown cleans
Tafe,
up.
They go under again. He's long on the three. Jeremy Brown with the rebound. Where's Briggs pushing in pace? 48 all. 4 minutes to go. Skip pass to Tamatui.
Nice active hands by Tristan Lacey. Great to see him get around and compete there. And a little bit of composure.
The sagging defense on Ethan Tafe here. I don't know whether that's it's actually a scout thing from Max McKinnon or whether he's just not getting up. But Ethan Tafe has a lot of space. There we go. That's a little better. It's a Cole World. We're just living in it. He just misses the early, easy putback. Cole rushes
I don't know if
anyone's
got a tally on these Cole World references from Luke. We're getting up there. I like
Max
it.
McKinnon, the whirling dervish. Can't get it to go. Ethan Tafe tries to push. That's a foul there by Wesley Briggs.
Yeah.
Starting to get a little bit scrappy here, as you would expect.
Yeah,
long week
in this game. You're right. 5th day. Two games a day on some of these days for these guys, and tired legs, no doubt. But plenty of time left in this one, so they got to find some extra energy and dig deep. As we see Tristan Lacey on the high post, likes the match up with GPAP, but Ethan Tafe not able to get it to go. And Spartans not playing with a lot of space on that occasion, attacking the paint, but a lot of bodies
on
inside.
Cole Ross there, a lot of body. Good attack there by Tamatui. 48 apiece here. This team's lacking a bit of direction. Could be attributed to Kobe McDowell-White spending a bit of time on the court, on the bench, I apologise, and Sam Schmidt seeing a bit of time on the bench as well. So we'll see if they get reinserted, whether we can see a little bit more structure for both these teams to end this quarter.
Yeah, interesting game. Obviously, such a key part for Spartans is that Kobe McDowell-White and what he brings. And on the back of a really big game yesterday, he would have been absolutely the top of that scouting report for Brisbane. But what are your thoughts, Luke, on that one? Obviously, early foul trouble. Do you think maybe that's just got into his rhythm and not allowed him to get into this game? Or have Brisbane done anything for yours that has really thrown him out of what
I mean, Kobe's a very active defender, and when you play with your hands and you're active defender, sometimes you can kind of get them where they're not supposed to be. So I think he's probably
he's probably had one legitimate foul, 2 were probably unlucky, and that seems to happen. I'd back him in to play with 3 personally. I think he's a seasoned performer, but again, Coach Marchant is playing the percentages now. But again, if they start to lose traction here, down 3 with 3 to go, I'd say he might look to bring him in just so he can get a bit of control here. As you see, Sam Schmidt with the quick hands and finish. 5-point lead for Brisbane. Timeout, Coach Darren Marchant.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think it's interesting with 3 fouls. I can understand the reluctance by Darren to want to get him in and risk that 4th, but I think he's too talented to sit on your hands for too long and leave him on that bench. So be interesting to see how much longer he goes. It looks like he's still going to be off with this timeout, and we'll see what adjustments Spartans make. But couple of scrappy possessions in the last ones for Spartans. That's been an up and down quarter. They sort of managed to get a little bit of a lead. Brisbane came back at them and hit the front, but it's now 53-48. Hit Caps taking just back a little bit of control, and hence the timeout there by Darren Marchant.
So Brisbane hold a 3-point lead with 3:04 to go. 2:49, not 2:48 on our monitor here. I apologise. 5-point lead. God, I'm all over the shop. It's been a long afternoon.
Yeah, look, mate, I'm carrying the team here.
I'm looking at live stats
carrying
here.
the team, but carry on.
4-5. What's the key here? What's the key for Spartans? Down 5, 3 to go. Again, this is almost carbon copy of the female game, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's really tough for Spartans again. Having like 2 and even 3 with Hazen Mellors not playing of your key components on that bench, it's hard to see where they can establish themselves. I'd like to see him go to Ethan Taith. For mine, he's the one in this lineup right now who can get the job done, and you've got to be prepared to play through him. Maybe 2-man game with Tristan Lacey rolling to the basket. He does a really good job of finding space. So that's what I'd be calling if I was Darren, but we'll see what they go with here.
Leahy Cook goes to the floater. He's no good. Maxi McKinnon getting his hand in the cookie jar. Colwell to the foul line on that putback.
Offensive rebound again, and he's up to 8 rebounds for the game, I believe, Cole Ross. So having a real impact in this one. But for mine, this is where they really, where it really hurts. They really miss that impact from Hazen Mellors. So he's a guy that can come into a game and make something happen. When it gets a little bit stagnant like this, when things are a bit scrappy, he's full of energy and he's going to compete, and he can really add that X factor and that spark in a game like this. So certainly missing that right now, Spartans. The 2-3 zone from Spartans. The change up by Darren, interesting. As we see Sam Schmidt throw that one away.
Yeah, not a bad decision. I like the call. Just a bit of a change up out of the timeout. Try and throw Brisbane out of their rhythm. They obviously build up a little bit of a rhythm there. It's general rule of thumb for all those coaches out there is when if you're going to change things up, the easiest one, the reminder for you is out of the timeout, and you know, as long as you have a repertoire, you should be fine. Will Marnie on the attack, pull up, contested 2-point jump shot. Probably not what they're looking for there.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we touched on it earlier, but Brisbane only 1 of 9 from the 3-point line in this game, so the zone makes a lot of sense. As much as you love to see guys get after it and compete and have some accountability in a one-on-one matchup, it's yeah, you can't blame Darren and his thinking of dropping back into that 2-3, and we'll see if Brisbane can either get going from outside that arc finally or establish an inside presence.
Tamatui to the line again. Good energy player, gives him a little bit of a boost on the bench. Brisbane, you know, just probably all guys have touched the floor tonight. All 10 guys know their role, play it well. Tamatui 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
Tamatui 2 for 2. 2 for 2. 49-55.
This is what I'm dealing with.
Ethan Tafe on the turnout action for 3. Big shot. Crush the boards. Colwell with another rebound. That's 9 for the game for Colwell. Tamatui with it, comes up with it. Pushes out in the break. 3 on 2.
Gets it back from Schmidt, not able to finish.
Rim jams himself.
Caught himself under the rim on that
Spartans
one.
back into it.
Bodies
Tafe
all over
with
the
the
place.
Eurovision.
And he wants to tell Jeremy Brown a little bit. I think he's...
Yeah, I think Ethan takes the key for mine now in this one for Spartans. Didn't hit that last three, but I like the confidence coming off. Happy to get that shot off and then finishing in transition. I think he's a big one, especially with the foul trouble of their other big names.
Zone here, not an overly active 2-3 zone, but it is a 2-3 zone, and the Sam Schmidt with the long range three. Tamatui comes up with the rebound, long rebound. Spartans need to be a bit more urgent about what they're doing.
Great find by Jeremy Brown, but Sam Schmidt not able to finish the
but he's still going for it, the young fella, and it's good to see great play by Will Marnie. Cold World misses the easy gimme again. Bit of nerve settling in for a few players here. Jeremy Brown, spin cycle, drops it down. Tamatui for the short corner jump shot. Big G-Pap.
The garbage man, G-Pap.
That is a big boy.
Doing what he does well. Compete on the glass, finishing around the rim. Great to see. Final possession here of the quarter for Spartans. They want to get a good look. Down 6. Ethan Tate for 3. It's long.
On that.
And Tamatui happy just to see that one out, but Caps got a 6-point lead, 57-51. Just managed to establish a little bit of a buffer in this one, and like I said, probably the first time, certainly in a game that's counted, that Spartans have been challenged. So interesting to see how they respond. What are your thoughts, Luke?
Yeah, look, I think Ruledef, Davis and McDowell White all sat to end that quarter. McDowell White sat for an extended time due to foul trouble. So realistically, it was probably a lineup they probably haven't rolled out at all this week. So just notoriety. They didn't really get into any rhythm. So I'd say the start of this fourth, is pretty critical. If they can insert those guys back in. I personally, as a coach, would be definitely rolling with them. Down 6 going into the fourth quarter. I'd be going with my big guns. I'd be seeing if they can get going. I mean, you got guys that can play a role, but you can't die wondering basically. And if you sit them there and try and protect them, you might lose the game. So I'd be getting McDowell White in. I'd be trying and insert him in, be in an active zone, be more active in the zone, try and get out and run. And I think they'll be all right. I think they got the firepower. But at the moment, Tafe shot 20 field goals for 18 points. So at the moment, he's about the only one because sheer fact that he's played a lot of those minutes in the guard rotation. So just need a bit of help on the scoring component, Tafe.
Yeah, look, I agree with that, certainly. From the looks of things, looking over at the Spartans bench, it seems like both Harry and Kobe McDowell White are going to start on the bench again for this quarter, which big call by Darren, and always tough when you're in that situation, but for mine, they'll be on the court. With 4 fouls, maybe a different conversation, but apologies, they're both coming on. They just weren't sitting down on the bench. So, yeah, that makes sense for mine to get them straight back into this game to start this quarter.
Yeah, so as you see, Spartans go back to their starters. Brisbane probably anticipated them not doing that. They have rolled with pretty much their bench. Dom Hayes, Wes Briggs, and Venus, Brown, and Brokenholt. So interesting from both coaches here to see if it works to their advantage or not. Brisbane will definitely ramp it up with Kobe McDowell White on there. I'd say they'll get into that long active zone, and I think offensively they're playing against a man, so it looks like they're going into horn action here. McDowell White will try and get going straight away, and he does. Drops and dimes. Anticipate some sort of extended defense here. What is it, a 2-2-1? Tom Hayes, mid-range jump shot. Dom Hayes killing him.
Interesting couple of minutes here with Max McKinnon and Jordan Papakostas on the bench for Brisbane. I mean, if they can manage to keep this buffer and get a few minutes rest into those guys, it could be a big...
Lacey with the spin move, misses it, doesn't get it to go. Harry Ruledef with the putback and gets it to go.
Yeah,
see, that's if you don't have big G-Pap out there, you give them offensive rebounds. So they're in that 2-2-1 press again.
I like that. I like that by Coach Marchant.
Almost force a turnover.
Sometimes it's less about...
activity here by Mason Davis.
Sometimes it's less about the tactical adjustment of thinking the 2-2-1 is going to work, just about trying to get some energy into your guys to play quick and
again,
get them going on the other end.
Another stop there. find Kobe McDowell right, get running. Harry Ruledeff runs the right flank. Mason Davis just calming the boys down a little bit. Looking at going to the easy two-man game. Horns action. Mason Davis slices through.
Good action there by Spartans. They turned that into a double.
Double goes to his
drag
bench.
screen.
It's Sam Schmidt, he's coming in. Turnover. Coach V-Dog is inserting Sam Schmidt here. Important that Brisbane stay positive in this critical time. I'd say Spartans will probably look to go to that Horns action again. They've had a bit of luck with it.
V-Dog with a few words of advice for young Jeremy Brown, as you saw on the monitor just then. Yeah, it'd be nice to hear what he was saying, but we'll just have to guess. Dominic Hayes.
V-Dog calls for patience. Sam Schmidt calls for the middle pick and roll. Tristan Lacey, Ethan Tafe. Dom Hayes, big shot. Mason Davis a rebound. Mason Davis will be filling up the stat sheet tonight. 9-6-3.
Yeah, not a bad showing at all, and starting to get very nice pass.
Nice pass. Dropping it down to Lacey. Brisbane really have to get control of that middle pick and roll action, the Horns action. They really lack what they're doing, but as you see Max McKinnon and GPAP getting ready to come back in, a nice little dump down. Spartans probably lacking the urgency they need there.
Yeah, look, Spartans 2-2-1 press, I think, has been effective for them, and they've managed to speed Brisbane up, but they probably haven't done a good enough job of sprinting back in that second line once they break the press. So it'll be interesting to see if we can see some adjustments.
With another 2 points there.
As it happens again.
Tom Hayes, turnover. Mason Davis looking at the 3-on-2. A pick by Samuel Schmidt. Samuel Schmidt goes back at him on a 3-on-2. Venus drops it down to Dom Hayes. He misses the gimme. Kobe McDowell-White comes up with it. We got a little bit of cherry picking action by Ethan Tafe, and he doesn't get it to go. But he gets the foul, and he gives us a little bit of a rest from the mayhem that we have just ensured. Woo! Everybody take a breath. Time out.
Yeah, certainly fast-paced to start this fourth quarter, but you'd expect nothing less for Spartans. I think they had to inject a little bit of something into the game, and the 2-2-1, like I said, for mine's been a good little injection there from Coach Darren. Interesting to see now what V-Dog does to adjust, and see if Coach Marchant plays the mind games and maybe drops back for a possession or two, just into a man or a straight zone. So.
Just a quick stat. Spartans led by Ethan Tafe with 20 points. Tristan Lacey has had a big second half. He has 12 points and 3 rebounds to go along with that. Harry Ruledeff in 19 minutes has 13 and 7. He'll anchor the defense to finish the game. And then on the Brisbane side, we have McKinnon as the first guy to reach a double-double. He has 12 points, 10 rebounds. Big Jordan Papakostas has also got a double-double, I apologise, 16 and 10. So we've got 2 double-doubles there. Schmidt, Briggs and Hayes all have chipped in. Brown has 6. So it's a good spread from Brisbane. What are you looking for in the next few minutes, Lakey, to see what Brisbane is? Probably the ball's in Brisbane's court. They need to probably get their stuff together.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the next couple of sets, I'd certainly be trying to get the ball in the hands of Big GPAP or Max McKinnon, 2 of our key guys, and obviously just come back into this game, so they'll be red hot and raring to go. But for mine, they're the keys for Brisbane. They've got to establish some pick and roll action between the 2 of them. Maybe just starting in the low block and GPAP, but easier said than done with Spartans in this 2-2-1 press.
Spartans in that 2-2-1 forces another turnover.
Great length by Harry Ruledeff.
No
call.
Tafe brings it out.
Great to see Kobe just get up and get on with it, though. It's always good to see kids not standing there and complaining too much to the referees.
Mason Davis uses that little Horns drag screen. Can't get it to go. It's out of bounds. Spartans Brisbane ball. 62-61. Spartans lead. 6 minutes 31 to go.
I'd really like to see someone in the middle of this press. They're running GPAP into that hole, but for mine, he's probably better used close to the basket. So
Tom Hayes with a little pro hop into dish to G-Pap.
And just as I say that, they break the press. G-Pap strolls in. Nice little bucket under the basket. So what do I know?
I mean, Spartans, they got to. You've got to weigh it up. You get stops in the 2-2-1, but you're also allowing scores. So you really do have to weigh that up sometimes.
Great defense. Sorry to cut you off there, Luke, but Harry Ruledeff got the shoulder advantage. Max McKinnon stayed in the play and was able to block that shot. Great D by Max McKinnon.
Schmidt on the lefty drive, unfortunately can't go. Spartans out running through Kobe McDowell-White. Briggs riding the hip. McDowell-White with the skip pass to Ethan Tafe. Ethan Tafe gets the shot off. Short. Lacey with the ball in his hands. Oh, wow.
Don't know how he thread the needle through there,
sure.
but...
I don't know what happened. McDowell-White, that's a big three from Kobe McDowell-White. Short on the rim. G-Pap getting the tap to Sam Schmidt.
So interesting to see what Spartan's still in that 2-3 off the miss, but apologies. Back into a man now.
Fatigue, G-Pap looking to see where we're in. We're in shuffle stagger again from Brisbane Caps. G-Pap popping there. G-Pap two-man game.
This is good to see.
Spartans going under. Lazy switch there from Tristan and Harry. Tom Hayes coming up big.
He's got 10.
Tom Hayes gets 10 points for the game. Harry Ruledeff spin cycle.
Trading buckets at the moment.
He's got 15.
This 2-2-1 is getting broken fairly easy now, Spartans. I'd be looking at probably bringing it back. Sam McKinnon slicing, can't get it to go. Max McKinnon, my apologies.
I'm sure they'd take Sam McKinnon at the moment.
Sorry about that. Oh,
nice
easy dump down. Harry Ruledeff with the spin.
Tristan Lacey to Harry Ruledeff, and he finishes under the basket. But yeah, look, from on you're right, Luke. It's the press has been broken pretty easily, but what it is doing is it's speeding Brisbane up. They're probably not, doing a great job of then pulling it back out, getting to their
great
set.
seal, great finish.
That was a little bit more
best at using his body in Australia. Young Jordan Papakostas, very smart player. Get the two boys banging. Max McKinnon picks off the pass. Tries to get downhill, decides to pull it out. Finds Wes Briggs.
Yeah, that's better for Brisbane. Better tempo control, I think. Great job by Max McKinnon.
G-Pap underneath, nice strong move. Offensive rebound, can't get it to go. Max McKinnon can't get it to go. G-Pap offensive rebound, can't get it to go, but we draw a foul, and my voice box is gone.
Like a broken record on that one. Offensive rebound up to offensive rebound, but come up with the reward in the end of a trip to the foul line for big G-Pap, and see if he can make a couple of shots here. So currently a 1-point game to Brisbane.
Fourth quarter, 3:40 to go. Ruledeff and Tafe getting subbed off, perhaps just for a quick breather. We will wait and see.
Yeah, interesting call, absolutely. Harry's had a couple of buckets already.
Both had big games.
Yeah, so not sure exactly what Darren's thinking there, but
too long. Anyway, G-Pap misses the first, which is
Harry does have 4 fouls. So Harry just picked up his 4th foul.
G-Pap, yep.
Again, with 3 minutes to go, I think maybe you've still got to ride that one out, but understand the thinking there by Darren as well.
Will Marnie, touch and go on that one. A little bit of fumbleitis. Wes Briggs gets a hand on it before it goes out. So lucky break there for Will Marnie. Tristan Lacey versus big G-Pap. G-Pap absolutely bodies him.
Cole Ross
with an offensive rebound.
Just wanted it more.
Will Marnie is going to attack the baseline and has stepped out of bounds. Will Marnie, not much space there. Tried to light foot it, but stepped out of bounds. So
we're well and truly in clutch time now. 3 minutes 20 to go. 1-point game. Everything on the line. State championship, gold medal for the boys under 18 state championships, and no doubt a few nerves starting to settle into these boys, but we'll see who steps up and makes a name for himself and gets their team over the line.
Sam Schmidt, slot pick and roll with the floater. Finally gets one to go, and it could not have been a bigger shot.
Absolutely. If you're going to find a time to start finding the bottom of the net, it's right now. And credit to him for not putting the gun in the holster and still going at what he knows is his
Lacey
game.
on the mid-post, two-man game. Kobe McDowell-White with a bit of flair behind the back. Lacey driving
Will Marnie draw floater?
Yeah.
Will Marnie with the floater. Notorious big shot maker, Will Marnie is. Trapping that first pass. Sam Schmidt gets out of it. This might be a layup here for Brizzy. And Colwell with the block.
Kobe McDowell White was great
Big
hustle
play.
back. And,
Bit of flair. Will Marnie rubbing behind the back. Mason Davis. That's my man Cole World. Starting the break. Who needs Harry Marnie? Will Marnie! Big time.
Timeout, V-Dog. Max McKinnon getting pocket picked.
No chill Will. No chill Will. He has come up big. V-Dog is not happy with Wes Briggs, and he is absolutely tearing him apart. Hopefully it's just a little bit of a positive reinforcement.
What, you got your money on that?
Game is, no I don't. Game is not over. Still 3 points in it, but Brisbane, a couple of turnovers leading to a couple scores for Spartans. A little bit of juice in the building from Southern Districts. Brisbane, good time out there. As we said earlier, probably try and get it into our big dog's hands, try and get G-Pap a touch and see if we can. I would like to see a McKinnon G-Pap slot pick and roll and see if we can get a nice little two-man game going. Spot up Dom Hayes, spot up some shooters, space the floor. See if we can get our two guys in the pick and roll action. Other than that, Spartans have a decision to make. Do they stay in the 2-2-1? Do they retreat back? Looks like they're going to stay in it.
I like that. I like that by Darren. Staying on the front foot. Continuing with what's worked for you, what's got you back in this point of the game. Can understand as coaches sometimes get a little bit comfortable and second guess yourself and want to take the safer bet, but I'm a fan. And comes up big for him straight away.
Samuel Schmidt, Trista Lacey with the deflection.
Right. And again, not sure for mine, G-Pap's the right option in the middle of that 2-2-1 press break, but
Spartans going with the same lineup, going with the young boys. Will the thrill, Marnie!
Will Marnie!
Will the thrill!
Coming up big!
I did mention, if you want to rewind about a minute, I did say he was pretty clutch, so I wasn't wrong. Another turnover from Sam Schmidt. No, Dommy Hayes gets it, saves the day. Back to 5. Brisbane need a score. They need to find what they... Where's Briggs? Open. One dribble Jimmy. Can't get it to go.
Yeah.
Big possession there. Spartans will look to facilitate. This is the benefit of having a Kobe McDowell White in your team.
Absolutely.
I've almost
and
put the mocker on him. They'll
look,
go middle pick and roll here. They'll get big G-Pap. Oh, and I've definitely put the mocker on him.
Tried a little bit too much there, Kobe.
Schmidt and one. No, he can't get it to go. But good aggression from the young fella.
No, yeah, look, Kobe McDowell White just caught himself trying a little bit too much. They got a little bit fancy, but everyone knows what kind of a player he is and what he can do for this team. So probably hasn't had the game that he was hoping for today with only 2 points to his name so far, but absolutely always finding ways to contribute.
Do you bring in Tafe back and rule it F back, or you're going with the guys that just got you a 7-point turnaround?
Yeah, well, Darren Marchant gets to tell us that we don't know what we're talking about. They've taken control of this game after that sub, but
in saying that's the benefit of having such a good rotation that Spartans have at their disposal.
Absolutely.
Rebound by Cole World. That'd be 1,000 rebounds for the night.
Yeah, look, for mine, I'll let these guys run with it, to be honest.
12 rebounds, not 1,000, but 12.
Close.
Kobe McDowell White looks to hit the dagger in the
G-Pap with the offensive
They'll
rebound.
look to push here through Sam Schmidt. Sam Schmidt looks to go and one and draws the foul. Sam Schmidt, his aggression is really opening up the floor.
And that'll be 4 for Kobe.
Sam Schmidt back to the line for 2.
So Sam Schmidt with the chance to make it a 3-point game, 1-possession ball game.
Big 3 throws here by Sam. Gets the first to go.
Yeah, so again, just coming back to that point. 2 points for Kobe McDowell White, but 7 assists, and his plus-minus is 9. So he's right at the top of that plus-minus for Spartans. So
Sam Schmidt gets 2 to go. Big shots by the young fella. 34 seconds. Marchant won't burn his time out here. He'll let it play out, knowing that Brisbane have to steal or foul. No, we have a shot clock. We have 16 seconds left, so they'll play this out, try and get the stop. Kobe McDowell-White, another turnover. Just not himself tonight. Where's Briggs?
Max McKinnon.
Where's Briggs? Corner three. No, he pulls it in. Sam Schmidt. He's come up big, the young fella. No, offensive rebound.
Rebound. They get another crack at it.
Oh! And that'll
do it. Spartans, state champs.
Bit of a memorable game, that one. Brisbane, they should be absolutely proud of themselves. The week they have had and what they've been able to achieve has been nothing short of phenomenal. Great team effort. The boys have been absolutely phenomenal. They should be extremely proud of themselves with what the effort they put in. There has to be a winner, there has to be a loser, unfortunately, Michael. I've been on the losing end a lot, so I know how it feels. But
I don't even get here, so I don't know how it feels either way. But yeah, no, you're right. Brisbane have really outdone themselves this week, so they probably won't feel it right now, but nothing but pride for them and what they've achieved. Coming in 6th in BQJBC in the South, take this Spartans team all the way to that final possession, have a couple of really good looks at it, but ultimately come up short, and credit to Spartans walking away with the gold medal.
Yeah, so that'll do it. So 74-71, Southern District Spartans over Brisbane Capitals. Definitely a game to remember. Top scorers for the game, Ethan Tafe leads Spartans with 21, Ruled F 17, Tristan Lacey 12, Mason Davis good all around 11, 7 and 4. For Brisbane Capitals, they are paced by big Jordan Popakostas. I apologise, Geordie. 20 and 12. Dom Hayes pitches in with 10. Sam Schmidt 10. Maxi McKinnon a big double-double with 12 and 13. Just on the team field goals, not a great shooting performance. We'll get into some three-point practice in SPP next week, but not a bad game. High-paced game. What are your thoughts, Mike?
Absolutely a spectacle. It was good fun to watch. Good to see the boys get after it, compete. Yeah, two different styles of basketball. You can see both teams wanting to play quick at times, but obviously, ultimately, Spartans got the job done. And you know, with that depth and that talent, they were always favourites. But yeah, Brisbane made them work every minute of that game for it. So they've earned that gold medal, Spartans. Full credit to them.
All right, that'll pretty much do us here from the Gold Coast Sport and Leisure Centre as we take you out with some highlights of the 2020 Under-18 Queensland State Championships. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you for putting up with myself and Michael for 4 hours, which is absolutely unbelievable.
You guys are the real heroes.
I am absolutely stuffed. We thank you for your support of Basketball Queensland. We thank you, all the kids, all the athletes, all the parents, everybody that makes our sport so amazing. Thanks, Mike. I'll see you around.
Cheers.
Thank you, everybody.
All teams who are to receive medals, can you come down to the floor, please? So that we'll speed up the process of presenting medals. All teams, including coaches, those teams who are receiving medals, can you come down to the floor behind that black line designated floor. 2020 Basketball Queensland Under-18 State Championship medal presentations. I'd like to welcome our Vice Chairman, Basketball Queensland, Julie George, presenter, who helped us today in presenting each of these medals. Also with us, two Bulls players, Tyrell Harrison and Matthew Hodgson. Matthew's also a boomer at the moment. And Scott Molson. Also coming up to present the referee medals to start the proceeding is Jackie Dover, who's the referee commissioner. We're going to start off with the referees. So I want you to come up, go around behind me. Jackie will present you with a medal, and then all the referees will line up in front of the media wall there, get your photo taken, and then move away. So it's all together. So we'll start with Division 4 boys, bronze medal game, Tuscany Alba and Connor McEnroe. The Division 4 boys gold medal game, RJ Foster and Andre Polero. The Division 3 bronze medal game, Alex Flamingos and Isaac Latonen. The Division 3 gold medal game, Rachel Evans and Kelly Griffin. The Division 2 bronze medal game, Casey Hatton and Nicholas McQueenie. The Division 2 gold medal game, boys. Sorry, that's girls. Eliza Bennett and Ben Lord. Boys Division 2 bronze medal game, Bretton Prowse. Rubishek. Boys Division 2 gold medal game, Chantel Thomas and Alex Cox. The Division 1 girls bronze medal game, Seppi and Caitlin Hurd. Girls Division 1 gold medal game, Lauren Drabwell, Riley Chapman. The Boys Division 1 bronze medal game, Madison Mickeltick and Camelia Menzies. The Boys Division 1 gold medal game, Jordan Harden, Megan Pascoe. There's one last award for the referees, that's the Golden Whistle Award, which is presented to the referee that over the past 5 days has displayed cooperation, teamwork, endeavour and improvement. I'd like you to congratulate Avril Davis. She has already received this medal, not here. That's for Division 1 and 2. And congratulations to the winner of Division 3-4, RJ Foster. And now to the Division 4 boys. I'd like to ask Scott Benson, representative from Malton, Australia, our wonderful sponsor who provides all the balls for these tournaments and helps out our end with Basketball Queensland. I'd like to now invite the third Boys Division 4 Brisbane Capital bronze. Who defeated North Gold Coast Seahawks white. You can come forward, receive your medals. And in the gold medal game, Logan Thunder Gold defeated Northside Wizards 3. Now I'd like to ask the runners-up in Division 4 boys, Northside Wizards 3, if you could come up and receive your medals, silver medals, that would be great. And I'd now like to invite the Division 4 champions, Logan Thunder Gold, to come forward and receive their medals. Now I'd like to George to come forward and help us with the Boys Division 3. I'd like to invite the third place team for Division 3 Boys, Southern District's Trojans Black, who defeated Southwest Metro Pirates Purple, to come forward and receive their bronze medallions. And in the gold medal game, Caboolture Suns Reds defeated Sunshine Coast Phoenix Orange. Sunshine Coast Phoenix Orange have received their medals already. So I'd like to invite the Division 3 Boys Champions, Caboolture Suns Reds, to come forward and receive their gold medals. Now I'd like to ask Tyrell Harrison to come forward, help us with the Girls Division 2 medals. So I'd firstly like to invite the third place team for Girls Division 2, Sunshine Coast Rip, to come forward and receive their bronze medals. They defeated Logan Thunder Gold in the bronze medal game. And they're not here. And in the gold medal game, Southwest Metro Pirates Gold defeated Townsville Lightning. So I'd like to ask the runners-up in Division 2 Girls, Townsville Lightning, to come forward and receive their silver medals. And the gold medal game. Sorry, I'd like to ask Southwest Metro Pirates Gold come forward and receive their medals. Now to the Division 2 boys, Julie George will be helping with presentations. I'd like to invite the third place team, Division 2 boys, Townsville Lightning, who defeated Gladstone Power. If you can come forward and receive your medallions, that'd be great. And in the gold medal game, Northside Wizards 2 defeated Toowoomba Mountaineers. The Toowoomba Mountaineers, so no silver medals we presented there. But I ask Northside Wizards 2 if you can come forward and receive your gold medals. Now to the Division 1 girls, both Matt Hodgson and Tyrell Harris will be helping with the presentations here. So I'd like to invite third place team for girls, Gold Coast Waves, who defeated North Gold Coast Seahawks, come forward and receive your bronze medal. And in the gold medal game, Townsville Flames defeated Logan Thunder. So I'd ask Logan Thunder to come forward and receive their silver medals.
I've been here so many times to go around, he's just chilling out.
And I'll now call out the Townsville Flames team. You can each come forward as names called out to receive the medal. Townsville Flames 4, Hayden here.
So 4 times.
Madison Hill. Shaylee Ward. Shiley Browning. Camille Cleland. Bree Stevens. Lauren Andrews. Remy Arnold. Ainsley Minogue. Coach Claudia Broussard. Assistant coach Alicia Foley. And the manager Alison Ward. Please congratulate this year's under-18 Girls State Champions, Townsville Flames. Now to the Division 1 boys. I'd like to invite the third place team for Division 1 boys, Logan, who defeated Gold Coast Waves. Please come up and receive their bronze medals. And in the gold medal game, Southern District Spartans defeated Brisbane Capital Gold. So I'd like to ask Brisbane Capital Gold to come up and receive their silver medals. And now to the Division 1 champions. I'll call out each of the players and coaching teams individually. Come up as your name is called to receive the gold medal. Eisen Mellors. Toby McDowell White. Mason Davis. William Mahoney, or Mahoney. Ethan Tate. Braden Lane Cook. Liam Stolberg. Kristen Lacey. Cole Ross. Harrison Rolodeck. Coach Darren Martin. Assistant coach Damien Cave. And the manager Tamara Hannon. Sorry, Mr. Clyde Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate this year 2020 Under-18 State Champions, boys, Southern District Spartans. I'd like to congratulate all teams who competed this year. I'd like a special thanks to Gold Coast Basketball, who I think did an outstanding job in presenting this tournament. Thank you once again, and we'll see you next year. Safe travels home.